Let's move over to the co-main event now, where we got strawweights on tap, where we got former title challenger Vina Jandiroba coming in at minus 115, going up against Tabitha Ricci, who comes in at minus 105. Now, Vina is coming off that title fight loss at the hands of Mackenzie Dern. Close-ish fight, but it was clear that Dern's ability to defend against the grappling of Jandiroba and then be the slightly better striker was enough for Dern to get that win. Jandiroba did get 9 minutes of control time that night, but she was very ineffective in terms of wrestling away the title from Dern. It was good to see Jandiroba have her 5-fight winning streak rewarded with that title fight against Mackenzie Dern. I believe it was a rematch as well, where Dern just ever so slightly pulled it out. I think I can't recall actually. You know what? Let me just double check that. I feel like it was Vina actually that won that first fight. No, it was Dern. I remember there was where Dern got her nose broke or something like that, and she was reeling for a little bit, and then she eventually came back and started to get the fight back into her favor. But regardless, Vina is now 0-2 against Mackenzie Dern. Let's see. Dern was getting better shots off on the feet, but when Jandiroba did get the fight to the ground, this is the rematch I'm talking about. Dern stayed active enough off her back to keep Jandiroba from landing significant damage or even threatening with submissions. And I think that's where it really was a hard time for Jandiroba to have much success. When she is at her best, it looks like her smothering her opponents, finding sneaky trips, finding sneaky ways to get involved in the grappling game. And from there, she usually showcases very good top control. And that's where we've seen, even good wrestlers like Lupita Godinez really struggle to get up from under Jandiroba. Jandiroba, not much of a threat in the striking realm. She's trying to figure out good ways to land her shots and get to the takedowns, so she can be successful. Even against a fighter like Yan Xiaonan, she was successful in doing that. But yeah, I think she's often a fighter that's underrated by a lot of bettors, but it seems like this weekend she's getting a lot of respect, considering when I studied up on this fight, she was about plus 125. Now she finds herself as the minus 115 slight favorite, if that's what you want to call it. I'm assuming the line is going to continue to move in her favor. But she's going up against Tabitha Ricci, who probably has an all-time high in terms of confidence, especially with her coming through with her first knockout win in the UFC, as she was able to smother Amanda Ribas and get her out of there in the second round. That was a very interesting fight where it seemed like Ricci was trying to get the fight to the ground. She was trying to really get into the clinch, drag the fight to the ground, but Ribas did a great job in terms of stopping it. But in round 2, we saw Ribas start to eat some big damage from Ricci. Ricci was throwing elbows, nasty elbows, targeting the eye area of Ribas, and I think she actually broke Ribas' orbital, and I think that's what led to Ribas eventually taking a knee and getting TKO'd there. That's big confidence for Ricci, who's often been looking to improve her striking game. We saw her get touched up at Yan Xiaonan, a fight where she went 1 of 3 on takedowns and got absolutely outstruck in that fight. And it showcased, if you're able to land with more damage, you could definitely nullify the type of striking that Ricci brings to the table. Ricci is a good grappler. She is a BJJ black belt. She often looks to take fights to the ground when she has enough of an advantage, and she's going to probably look to utilize it defensively here against Jandiroba. Now, this is a fun fight. This is a fun fight from a predictor's perspective, right? Will Jandiroba be able to get the takedowns? Will she be able to keep Ricci down? I'm thinking yes. There might be instances where Ricci can get away from the grappling, land some strikes. Maybe that could be enough to optically steal the round back in her favor. But I think Jandiroba is a good enough grappler that she'll be able to keep Ricci in defensive positions for the most part. I think she'll start landing some damage of her own, maybe even threatening with some submissions. But I think Vina's style is just so difficult to deal with, and I don't think Ricci provides enough danger in either realm, striking or grappling, to really keep Jandiroba away from getting from her, to her game. So I like Jandiroba here. I understand why the line is moving the way that it is, and I have to jump on board with that as well. So I'm going to go Vina Jandiroba by decision. By the way, I feel like I am saying Jandiroba correctly. I feel like I had this conversation maybe with my guy Nick Rodriguez in the comment section on one of Vina's last fights, and he may have corrected me, and he might correct me again if he watches this podcast. But I keep hearing in her fights they call her Jandiroba. So we're going Jandiroba.